Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is an absolutely beautiful day to dive headfirst into the wildest, most heart-stopping moments from Port Charles. We have been watching the chaos unfold all week, and we are so ready to break down every single detail with you. Settle in, grab your favorite drink, and let's get right into the thick of the drama. We need to talk about Ava Jerome first, because honestly, what was she actually thinking? She needs to get it together, I swear. Ava loves to add zeros to her bank account. We all know this. It is literally her entire personality at this point. She has this fatal flaw where she sees a dangerous man with a fat wallet, and she just completely loses all her common sense. She became one of Jen Sidwell's confidantes, especially after his son Marco died. Do you guys remember that? When Marco died and Ava was right there, playing the supportive friend, completely overlooking the fact that Sidwell is a literal international criminal, she just ignored the massive, glaring red flags because they were wrapped in dollar signs. It benefited her financially, so she just put on her blinders. The audacity of this woman. But wait, I forgot to mention earlier, but Ava actually thought her little alliance with Sidwell wouldn't come back to bite her. Like, girl, are you new here? You live in Port Charles. Of course it's gonna bite you. And it did, because Sidwell just showed up at her high-end art gallery in the middle of the day with a literal gun. I was yelling at my screen, "I told you so, Ava!" Denial is no longer her friend, folks. You cannot ignore a madman waving a weapon around your expensive art gallery, terrifying your clients and ruining your aesthetic. He didn't just come to look at the paintings. He came to take hostages. He grabbed ADA, Justine Turner, which is insane by the way. Like, why is the ADA even there right now? And is holding her at gunpoint right in front of Sonny Corinthos. At this point, I had to pause and text my friend immediately because the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Sidwell is completely unhinged, waving this gun around, and Ava is just stuck in the middle of this nightmare of her own making. But it gets so much worse, because someone else was in that gallery, and they ended up taking a bullet. Oh, wait, before that happened, actually I have to talk about Ethan Lovett. Poor, stupid, beautiful Ethan. He was caught in the crossfire of this gallery hostage situation, and because he apparently doesn't carry a weapon to protect himself seriously, why doesn't anyone in this town carry protection? He got shot. And not just shot anywhere, he got shot in the behind. I can't breathe. I'm dead. It is so serious, but also so ridiculously Ethan. So he is bleeding heavily, and Ava, because she is nothing if not resourceful, drags him into the storeroom of the gallery to hide from Sidwell. She is frantically using a literal drop cloth to try and stop the bleeding. A drop cloth? On Ava Jerome's designer clothes. Ava's insisting they have to do something. They have to get real medical help immediately. But she knows if they step out of that storeroom, Sidwell will shoot them both dead without a second thought. It is so dramatic. Ethan is losing so much blood, he's getting super weak and delirious, and in this moment of extreme vulnerability, he makes a shocking confession to Ava. My jaw literally unhinged from my face. He confesses that he is not Phoebe's biological father. I'm screaming. We all knew he broke into the PCPD to steal cold case evidence and fake that DNA test with Elizabeth, but hearing him admit it while bleeding out on a drop cloth is just peak cinema. I was like, are you serious right now? If he isn't the dad, then who is the real bio dad? Is it someone so dangerous that Ethan is committing felonies just to protect this baby? Things can go a couple of different ways from here for Ava. Being privy to this particular confession could either work to her massive advantage because we know Ava loves to blackmail people and she will absolutely use this to get what she wants, or it could put her in even further danger. If the real father of Phoebe is someone terrifying, Ava just painted a target on her own back by knowing the truth. She is trapped in a room with a bleeding man, holding the biggest secret in town, while a hostage situation happens outside her door. Okay, where was I? Right, so back out in the main gallery, Sidwell is still holding Justine hostage. He is using her to test how valuable she is to Sonny, trying to pull Sonny into a deadly trap. Sidwell is barking orders, insisting he wants to get away, and that Sonny is going to help him do it. But Sonny is literally the Teflon Don. He doesn't just roll over for anyone. Sonny's main priority is keeping Justine safe and freeing her from Sidwell's tight grip. So what does Sonny do? He drops a massive revelation. Sometimes revelations sound a lot like confessions, and this one was an absolute doozy. Sonny looks Sidwell dead in the eye, and I am literally on the edge of my seat at this point, clutching my throw pillow, and reveals that Ross Cullum is the one who killed Marco Rios. Yes, Marco, Sidwell's dead son. Sonny just threw the biggest curveball in the history of curveballs to throw Sidwell off his game. I was literally cheering in my living room. Sidwell is so caught off guard, and Sonny is totally using that shock to his advantage. I'm calling it now. Justine and Sonny are going to use this momentary distraction to work together and get out of this jam alive. The look on Sidwell's face when he realized his ally Cullum killed his son? Cinematic gold. And don't even get me started on Carly Spencer. She is on her own solo mission, and it is stressing me out so badly. She wants to rescue her daughter Jocelyn, who is being held captive at Windermere. Carly didn't wait for Lucas, she didn't wait for Sonny, she just went rogue, because she is a mama bear, and she literally cannot help herself. She gave Danny and Charlotte strict instructions to call Sonny if they don't hear from her by 8 p.m., which is such a Carly move. But of course she hits a massive obstacle. The weekly teaser said she would be suddenly stunned, and boy was she ever. Carly sneaks into Windermere and runs straight into Ross Cullum. I literally gasped out loud. Cullum stops her and smugly tells her that she saved him a trip because he was planning to kidnap her anyway. The audacity of this man. I am so mad at him like he is a real person. So Carly is backed into a terrible corner. And then she ends up in a brutal, physical confrontation with WSB agent Harker, who has literal orders to kill her. Carly is putting up a real fight, throwing punches, fighting for her life, but she is completely outmatched. I am terrified for her. Will this be a good kind of stunned or a bad kind of stunned? It's definitely bad right now, but she might need help from a surprise hero. Could it be Cassius Faison? He promised Jocelyn and Liesel he'd help them, so maybe he saves Carly first? Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, we need to talk about what happened at the batting cages, because my heart is actually broken into a million pieces. Cody Bell is an absolute hero. He finally got the voicemail from Felicia and Christina, warning him that Nathan is actually an imposter. So Cody rushes to the batting field just as Cassius is trying to flee Port Charles with little James West in tow. Cody yells out, "James, wait! Can't leave!" and completely intercepts the abduction. Cassius realizes the jig is up, he knows he's been exposed, and he has to leave James behind. It turns into this incredibly tough, heartbreaking goodbye instead of a kidnapping. James doesn't know the full story yet, he just knows that the man he thought was his dad is going away and probably never coming back. I was literally crying real tears. And then, in the most shocking twist of the century, Tracy Quartermain steps up to support Cody. Tracy, the woman who is usually breathing fire and judging everyone. Cody is so worried about James losing his father figure, and he actually leans on Tracy for support. It was such a tender moment, I couldn't even believe my eyes. Why does Cody need support? Because he has a massive heart, and he loves that kid. And Tracy actually sees that. It's beautiful, but also, I'm like, do we need to be worried that Tracy is being nice? Is the world ending? I never thought I would see the day where Tracy Quartermain is the emotional rock for a guy like Cody Bell, but honestly, I am here for it. It just shows how high the stakes are right now, that even Tracy is dropping her guard. Okay, let's jump across the world to France, because Anna Devon is finally getting the validation she deserves. Felicia, Mac, and Emma recently visited Anna at the psychiatric facility. Remember how Anna has been locked up there, recovering from being kidnapped and gaslit by the WSB? It has been a hellish 9 months for her. She was finally acting like herself again, but her mental health wasn't at 100% yet. But she had this wild theory that Nathan was actually Cassius Faison, Caesar Faison's secret twin son. Everyone thought she was just being paranoid. But on Thursday, Felicia tells Anna that she was right. She was 100% right about everything regarding Cassius Faison. Anna is feeling so incredibly grateful. She is literally thanking Felicia for not dismissing her theory and for actually looking into it. I am so thrilled for Anna. She is a genius, an absolute legend, and she deserves to get out of that facility right now. Hopefully, this means she can finally manipulate her doctor, secure her release, and return home to Port Charles where she is desperately needed. Because let's be real, the PCPD is a massive mess without her. Honestly, I am exhausted just talking about it. My heart rate is through the roof. Between Carly fighting for her life at Windermere, Sonny dropping bombs on Sidwell, Ethan bleeding out and confessing his crimes, and Cody saving James, it is just too much. I am calling it right now. This week is going to end on the biggest cliffhanger of the year. Someone is going to get shot, someone is going to get kidnapped, and I am going to be screaming at my television until Monday. You guys have to tell me what you think is going to happen, because I am spiraling. Seriously, mark my words, Port Charles will never be the same after this.